And it just got stopped just for a second. Apparently, some of that technology challenge is still following us, and that's a-okay. We're going to keep moving forward in 30 seconds, and presto, we are back. Boy, oh boy. This is going to be just a moment here. This is giving us some challenges. Hold on for just a second, everyone, while I make all these adjustments and make sure that we are on task with where we want to go. And right about here. So thank you very much, and apologize for that interruption in all that we were doing. We are here to talk about how to go the distance, how to create ourselves to be leaders, to empower our community, to create more every single day. I brought you here to talk about Stuck to Six Figures, and so I want to share with you some of the growth strategies that I've learned over the years and a couple things, and then we can open up for some more discussion. And we're also streaming this, and hi to our Facebook friends out there and to our social media friends in a couple different platforms. Absolutely, we're here to engage with you on how to grow, how to develop, how to create more in your world. Leaders, leadership, it creates viral growth for everybody when you show up to be a leader. One of the biggest challenges that we have in our world this day is there's not enough people leading and a whole lot of people looking to follow. And I want you to step up with your ideas, with your vision, to create yourself to be a leader, because the world is in such straits to looking for that, to wanting that, to desiring that in our world. Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to step up and create that magic in our world, in our life? Do you want to be an effective leader? Do you want more abundance, freedom, time, and money? Well, that's what leadership delivers to you, or it can, when it's done right, when you're able to build that abundance into your world. And what most people know with my life is that I have created the life with, well, less stress and more control. And those things are absolutely two things that are part of the same equation. Is how do you do that? Want to make sure that we're grabbing hold of all the people. So imagine this, and I want to give you this right off the bat, and this is a way to engage with me. I know we're just getting started here tonight, only I also know that people pop in and out, and for all of you in our world and in our community, the Maverick universe, grab hold of this. This is a QR code that is going to give you some great gifts. Recording in to create leadership. There are a couple things that I know you will need. One is you're going to need more time. And time is one of those things that most people don't feel they don't have enough of, and yet we all get the same amount of time in our day. We all get the same amount of seconds, of minutes, of hours in our world in any given day. And so what makes the difference? How come some people are able to create abundance, create joy, happiness, success, and other people struggle every single day to create even just a moderate living? In this QR code, you're going to get a download of just an amazing training I've done, which is a multimedia training on time prioritization, on time management, really understanding that concept around time. And secondly, you're also going to be able to get a consult with me. And so go ahead and grab hold of this. This is a free consult, no strings attached, where we can actually spend a little time and energy together to create some magic. So free consult. You're also going to have available tickets. If you want to go to Maverick Success Live, there are tickets available for our next event, which is coming up around the corner in just a little bit. We're going to be all over the country. Go here. The tickets are available for you. Go and find out what this is all about. It's my live event, 3 days with me. Absolutely a powerhouse training on how to be an entrepreneur, how to really engage with yourself internally as well as externally to create abundance. We're going to go into some of those components right here, because most people won't do what's necessary. And what I train in is how to do those components that create a sustainable, scalable business. To do what most people won't do for 5 years, so you'll get what most people will never get for the rest of your life. I've been an entrepreneur for over 36 years, owned several distribution companies, real estate investor, speaker for 16 years. I've run over 250 boot camps, trained sales teams all around the world, co-authored with over 400 authors, over 16 best-selling books right now, and sold over $30 million in informational products. Done it with this beautiful woman by my side. This is my beautiful wife, Deborah, who is my soulmate, my love of my life, and the person who has really created what we have here. If it wasn't for her by my side, you wouldn't see me here. So if you like anything tonight, if you like anything in the Maverick universe, absolutely reach out to Deborah and thank her, because it's all because of her. She saw more in me than I ever did in and of myself. And for those of you that are couples out there that really get that message, understand the strength of the support team that you have is so important, because they'll see more in you than you ever will of yourself. So much of what we do in the Maverick universe is build up each other. And my wife is the one that builds me up every day. The rest of the story, this is my 6 children, 3 sets of twins. The youngest is now, this picture is a couple years old. My kids hate it when I show this one. But I have so much joy and happiness within this picture. The youngest is now 21 years old, David and Daniel. Then we have Stephen and Katerina that are 22, Alex and Amanda that are 27. And we have so much joy and happiness as a family together, and so tight. And it's something that is one of my greatest pleasures. So back to the story at hand. Going to talk about the top 5 ways to create 10xing everything that you're doing, 10xing your strategies to empower yourself to be a leader, to be a Maverick leader. Number one, and as you know, so many people look at something like this and they go, yeah. Go on to the real stuff. Only this is the real stuff. You've got to control your internal game. You've got to control what's going on inside of you, controlling your limiting beliefs. What are limiting beliefs? They're belief systems, mindsets that keep you from reaching your fullest potential. When you believe, you receive. And the challenge is that most people don't believe. They don't believe that they can. They don't believe that going through that fire on the other side, there's heaven. And so they never bother going through the fire. They don't believe that all these things are possible for them, that they could have the mansion and the yacht, that they could be flying around the world, that they could create happiness and joy and calmness in their life. They don't believe, and so they never go through the effort to make it happen. Believe. Gandhi taught us this. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. Your beliefs, your thoughts, your words become everything you have in your life. Everything. So what does that mean? And that's really good news for when you're just getting started, because it means everything in your future is up to you. It's within your control. The frustrating news is that you've had this control all along. And for so many people, they beat themselves up because they feel like they could have had this control all along and then they didn't. So it must not be true. No, it's other people that are to blame. So you have your thermostat and it's set. This is where I got started. I thought my thermostat was set at $100,000. When I first graduated from college, to make $100,000 was my dream, my passion. I thought that was the ultimate. Then I had 6 kids and realized $100,000 was not quite enough. And I needed to create something more, something different. So what does that look like? I had to adjust my thermostat. See, what does it mean? What does a thermostat, what's that analogy imply? It means that as soon as I started to create more than 100,000, so I started to make 110, 120,000. Oh my gosh. I was like, hey, time to party. Everything was great. And so I'd slow down. I'd rest on my laurels, if you will. I would pat myself on the back and go celebrate. And all of a sudden that it started to shift, because as I stopped the momentum, my income started to slow down. And so then I wasn't making the 110, 120 anymore. And it would slow down. And all of a sudden it would get colder and colder. I'd start making, 80, maybe even 75. And, oh, this is way too cold. This is getting too low. I better beef up my efforts. And as I did, my number would go back up again, always looking to rest around 100,000. What if you readjusted your thermostat so that you started to speed up or slow down when you were reaching, 250, 500,000, a million? You were making 100,000. Oh no, let's say you're making 120, where normally you would slow down, but now your goal is 250. You're doubling the effort, doubling the experience. You're going in there with more energy. You're not slowing down. You're not partying. You're not patting yourself on the back. You're going in with a gusto, because your thermostat's now set at 250,000, not at 100. Makes all the difference in the world. I set my thermostat to be a top-level speaker, to be speaking all around the world, to create more every day, because, well, one, I had great motivation. I had my 6 kids looking at me. I had my wife and 6 kids, and I was the sole income producer in the family, and it was time for me to get busy. I also set it because I started to see a vision of what could be. Started to see a vision of what was possible. Started to see a vision of how I could change the world, how I could share my message and help other people go through that journey that I had been on. I started speaking all over the world to stages, thousands of people. Got educated from some of the best, and then started sharing the stage with these same exact people. I saw when they were up on stage that what they had and what they were doing, and jumped the fence to be with them in that journey, to be a part of it. Started hanging out with them in a lot of different ways here. Some of the proof of the pudding is some of the pictures, if you will. I not only started working with them and sharing the stage with them, I jumped the fence and became their consultant. So many of these people I was brought in to run their rooms. I started a speaker support business where I would bring in the sales team, bring in the people that I would train hands-on, and then bring them in to help these speakers and trainers up their game and create more in their world. I had become their consultant rather than just the person that admired them from afar. I started getting connected with some of the people all around the world, and both speakers, trainers, as well as some Hollywood started mixing into that, just because also big networkers all around the world and contributors. As we move forward, the next step, once you understand how to eliminate some of the limiting beliefs and grab hold of the idea that you are the one in control, well, now it's a matter of taking responsibility. 100% responsibility for everything that happens in your life. You see, the idea that you're not making enough, the idea that you don't have abundance, you don't have joy, happiness, amazing results in your world is, well, there's no one else to blame. Don't look at me, just ask Gandhi. Taking 100% responsibility for the fact that everything you have is within your control. There is no one to blame. It's not about the economy. It's not about the president. It's not about what's going on in Russia. It is none of that. It's all up to you. No one else, nothing else. 10xing your strategy, number 3, and this is one of the hard ones for some people to grab hold of, because we've been taught, be realistic. You've got to, even in the concept of goal setting, they have these SMART goals. And if you've ever heard anyone train on SMART goals, you've got to have SMART goals, and it's an acronym. A couple of the words in the acronym have to do with being realistic and attainable. Well, realistic and attainable keeps you within your comfort zone, keeps you within your limits, keeps you within that space that is not beyond belief, nor does it ever help you stretch and reach your fullest potential. Being unrealistic creates the magnitude of possibility that creates an amazing result for you. Set your goals way beyond your vision, way beyond your comfort zone. Dare to shoot for the stars and land on the moon. Do not look at your goals, go, yeah, I can do that. I want the goal to scare you a little. I want the goal to shake you up a little, to have you thinking, how can I? Not, yeah, I got this. This is easy. When you're thinking that and you're looking at your goals, time to stretch them one step further, time to move them past that line to create more for yourself. Dare to step beyond the edge of your wildest imagination. I dared to stretch beyond my wildest imagination and started being a writer of books. I have now collaborated with over 400, and I believe we're up to close to 500 authors at this point. Book after book after book. I've shared the stage with some of the top level people in the world. This was the Real Estate Wealth Expo, one of the largest stages in the world as far as number of people on the stage, number of people that have attended, and was able to be within this program. Again, a couple months later, same organization throwing another program in another city. Being a part of that, you'll see me right there. I was talking about negotiations in this training, and I talk about a lot of different subjects. This is my vision. This is where I decided I wanted to go, and created that over years. I've been able to share the stage with some of the top level personal development trainers as well, not just real estate and wealth building. Here I am with one of the people that I started with so many decades ago, Dennis Waitley, and I was showing him some of my original cassette tapes that I got almost 40 years ago with Dennis Waitley's picture on the cover. Shared the stage with Jack Canfield and Kevin Harrington in touring the country. Also got to meet great people like Richard Branson, the owners of Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines, Virgin Galactica, Virgin Mobile, all things Virgin. And this is his island in the Necker Island in the Virgin Isles. This is his second home, or his private island. And this isn't just a photo shoot. We got to stay here. We've been there twice now. It's one of the top rated homes in the world to go visit. There's my wife in the center hanging out with a few millionaires, and of course, Richard Branson, a billionaire. Wasn't sure I was getting her back. She was having so much fun. And Richard Branson really liked her. Here's what I want you to get with this is, when you look at that picture, here we are, Richard Branson, billionaire. Richard Branson has over 400 companies. Richard Branson is hanging out with us, with having some drinks, some dinner, doing the conga line. Does he look stressed? Does he look like, oh my gosh, I've got so much responsibility, I can't manage this? So many people hold themselves back with the concept that is perpetuated through our society that more abundance, more business, more success means more stress. And I got to tell you, there's no such thing as that equation. It's what you make of it. You see, Richard Branson didn't have the stress when he first started. He doesn't have the stress now. This is how he started in his journey. And when you start with learning how to manage your stress levels, knowing how to manage the influx of input from the outside world, and managing that, managing your emotions around it, that's where you can end up. Such a great example of somebody that has been able to navigate the world and back, all with a passion and with a heart. Makes all the difference in the world. And last but not least is absolutely taking massive action. One of the biggest challenges is that people say, oh man, I want to create millions. I want all this and more. And then they sit back and they wait. All right, maybe I need to wait a little longer. Maybe wait a little longer. Maybe wait a little longer. And they just sit there and wait. You create a dream, you create a passion, and you go for it. It means you must take some action. You want a massive change, you must take massive action to create the life that you really want. It doesn't happen by sitting still. It is possible, though. Take the action. It is worth the journey, worth the effort. I took the action years ago. I started in real estate investing, for instance, nearly 21 years ago. And this was one of my first properties. And I know I'm a little nuts here, and I'm just going to share this briefly. One of my first properties, it was a strip mall. No, you don't have to be linear in thought process. In the real estate world, what that means is you buy a single family home, then you're allowed a duplex, and maybe you're allowed to buy a multifamily, and then, well, then you can get into commercial, maybe. I just jumped right in. $769,000 for most people, that would scare the crap out of them. I just went forward and said, well, what if? And figured it out. With that, I ended up purchasing the property at $372,000. That's right, the $700,000 price tag. I negotiated down to $372,000, and I did that with all the skill sets and the understanding of all that I do in my world. And if you want to learn how to negotiate at this level, come hang out for more training, and we can talk about that another time. $372,000, started off $765,000, purchased it at $372,000. Huge negotiation process and multiple layers of negotiation that went into this. I held it for 2.5 years, spent $2,500 in repairs, cash flowed over $2,000 a month, and actually sold it for $685,000. Kind of proof of the pudding that it was worth that to begin with. And the negotiations was paramount in creating the results that I wanted. Over $300,000 in profit in this one deal alone. Have I made all my money in real estate? No, I've made my money in multiple different industries. This is just one example of putting it all together in perseverance, skill sets, believing that I could, and going for it when I had no right to this kind of money. And what I mean by that is I was brand new in real estate. This is one of my early deals. And with that, I just went in with a gusto, with a complete belief system that I could, and then went forward and did it. And with all that I'm talking about, it's one of the missing pieces that people don't talk enough about, is the belief system and taking that leap of faith. That leap of faith has enabled me to travel all around the world to create magic for my family, magic for myself, jumping for joy and creating so much more. Number 5, and the last piece of the puzzle, is focus. You've got to focus your energy. And what does focus look like? What does it mean? I talk about being a strategic coach, looking at a 10,000 foot view and putting all the pieces together, at least on a wide angle view, and then going in deep and moving things around to fit in the right places. That 10,000 foot view, that strategic analysis of what you're doing and how it all fits together, is part of what people don't do. Then when they go into the day by day, they don't put it all together by knowing what they're going to be doing every step of the way before they get in the game, meaning some pre-planning with this, with the focus. Living on purpose with intent is what we're talking about here. Those planning moments creates that purposeful intent. And I talk about this over and over again. How do you create purposeful intent with everything that you're doing? If you can look around every day and say, why am I doing this? And have a real answer, that's purposeful intent. When you don't even ask yourself that question, that is the opposite. So create focus with effective systems, pre-planning, pre-design, and guarantee focus with time awareness, which gets back to where I started, which is absolutely track your time, accomplish more, and increase your relationship with time and your value with time by going and getting the time prioritization or Maverick time manual that I talked about at the beginning. You must apply these top 5 empowered Maverick leadership strategies, and I'll open up for some Q&A in just a second. Take control of your limiting beliefs. Take 100% responsibility for everything that you do. Be totally unrealistic with where you're going and your dreams and your passions, and take massive action with focused, purposeful intent. These are some of the key strategies to 10xing everything that you're doing. And as much as you say, well, now what? Let's get into the game of now what? People will follow you as a leader. When you stand up, when you walk your talk, when you say, I am all these things and more, I will be the living, breathing example of what I teach, and I'm ready to be viewed in that way. If your team did what you did, would your company experience 10x? I've got people that have 10x for decades now. The Tomatoes have been with me for over 14 years, increasing their magnitude of their wealth, increasing the magnitude of where they are every single year over 10 years now. Chris Phillips did the same thing, quit his job within 30 days, increased to magnitude within rehab flips, as well as increased his business, which he was ready to dump, and doubled and tripled his business, resulting in over $270,000 in the first year that he engaged with us. Understand the magnitude of where you can be going and what you can be doing in your world. Demi did the same thing. Demi started a coaching business. In developing this coaching business for accountants, so she's an accountant's coach. She started off with a coaching program that was actually lower than this, and built it up step by step over a year and a half process. And each time continuing to move the needle to create the magnitude of power that she has now within her. So her latest update was January, but now it's in 2023. That was in 2022. I know I just got an update from her. She's now increased her prices up to $25,000 for her clients, and she keeps moving it because she keeps giving more and more value, giving them more and more value, and them creating an exchange of value that's well worth it for them as well. Jen Duplessis, same thing, created over $200,000 within the first 7 months of working with us. Paul Brown created massive results, and he has now went from 30,000 to 175,000, and now this is now a couple years old. He is well over $400,000 in his income level. This is just the beginning, guys, and I wanted to give you a breakdown of some of what we do, some of what we talk about in the Maverick universe, so that you can double your income, overcome all barriers, create your vision, understand what's possible for you to achieve, and do so much more in your life. Come join us. Come spend some time. I do have an offer for you. This is completely free. There is no strings attached. You can get the download of this amazing ebook on Maverick prioritization, which is Maverick time, as well as get a free consult with me. Go ahead and grab hold of that QR code or go to maverickoffer.com, and you can get all of that and more through that website. I want to open it up now, and anybody that is here to come live, and I know for some people that are listening to this on social media, please, let's get some questions. If you ask some questions in the chat and I don't see it live here, I will answer them after I get off of here. So go ahead and type in some of your biggest questions. What are your biggest struggles? What's going on in your world? Anyone that's here, absolutely come forward and open up your screen. You've got capability to do that and ask some questions. What are your biggest struggles? What is it that is keeping you from living your fullest potential? See, one of the biggest challenges is that we don't even dare to dream anymore. We don't dare to imagine what the stars could look like for ourselves. I remember being in that space. I remember not realizing that the world I now live in even existed. And what I can say is for each and every one of you, it's possible. It's possible to live in a world that you don't even know is alive, as well as is out there for you. So go to the outer limits of your imagination and then stretch just a little. Go to the outer limits of what you believe is the world that is possible within your reach, and then go one step further and make that your vision, that your dream. And then ask yourself this one question: how can I? How can I make that a reality and get moving forward? One of the things I would encourage is for you to hang out with me. Come ask those questions live with me, get a one-on-one consult with me, and let's make this happen. And I'm going to give one more gift to all of you. I want you to come and hang out. We've got an event called the Maverick Success Live. I do live events all around the country, and I want to invite you to hang out with me. I want to invite you to the Maverick Success Live. It is one of the amazing 3-day boot camps, because it's not thousands of people. It's not even hundreds of people. It's usually about 50 people in a room. And we have real conversation about what's going on in your life, what's going on in your existence, how to go from here to there. What's your business model? What's your business plan? What is it that you are doing every day to create the magnitude of results that you're getting? And what is it that can be shifted and tweaked? Oftentimes it's not massive change. Oftentimes it's 1% off and you miss the mark entirely. What if you had someone who can instantly go in there and shift that 1% for you? That's so much about what the Maverick Success Live event is all about. Bring your toughest questions, bring your toughest challenges, and we answer them right there on the spot in the event. In addition to that, it is only me on stage. This isn't a sell-a-thon. This isn't something that you get distracted with a whole lot of different options. We take what you're already doing and teach you how to 10x it. We take what you already are doing. Suppose you have a business, you have a business idea, you're already in the game. We can help you take that and 10x it, so that when you leave during the 3 days, we help create a game plan of what's next. What's the next steps for you to move the needle, to create that magnitude of results that you're looking for, that you deserve? A couple other things I will talk about: the people that, well, maybe you don't have something quite yet. Maybe you're not quite there yet. Maybe you haven't figured out what your passion is, what your major just amazing vehicle is to create the magnitude of results that you're looking for. Bring the questions of what should I be doing? What could I be doing to the event as well will help you analyze and begin the process of figuring out what is the best thing for you. What could be the thing that makes magic happen in your world? And on the other extreme, I got to tell you, we've had clients that are just getting started, have no idea what they're doing. People that are in the game already have been doing business for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years and looking to really step up, create that vertical movement in their business. We also have people that are hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more, in their business and looking to figure out how to get more time, more energy, maybe step away from their business a little bit, get some more balance in their world. How do they do all that? How do they maybe sell their business, restructure their business so it makes more sense and go to the next level, whatever your game is? I guarantee you we have a place for you. Come find out, because we're going to be talking about sales. We're going to be talking about communication. We're going to be talking about stress management, the internal game and the external game all at the same time within 3 days. This is an event for entrepreneurs. I've been an entrepreneur now for almost 40 years. And in that journey, learned a thing or two about what really creates success. Come find out. Maverick Success Live, MaverickSuccessLive.com. Come find out what all that is about. You want a consult first, you want to get to know me a little bit better. That is where the rest of the story is. We have a few more moments to engage. If you would like to share any questions, anything that's going on in your world, I am here for you in that regard. Just want to see if we've got anybody who is asking questions in everything else that we're doing and what's happening around the world. And I'm just checking even some of our social media, see if there's any questions out there. We're here for you, whatever the case may be. And I want you to know that when you come into our room, when you come into our universe, and this is the Maverick universe, we are here to help you, to lock arms with you and go the distance. This isn't about one event. This isn't about one download. This isn't about an opt-in or selling you anything. This is about creating a new world, about creating a world that we can all create abundance in, that we can create magic, and that we can create joy, because there's enough for everybody. How do we make that happen? We've got books that we publish and we help you become a bestseller. We teach you how to become a speaker, trainer, coach. We teach you how to double and triple your results in your business, whether you're in a service business or a product business. Any of those verticals, we're here for you. Look forward to seeing you, for hearing from you. You have any questions at all, reach out. This is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and this is the Maverick Power Hour. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all that you do. Talk to you soon, guys.